in your program with 2 minutes to post time. The number 1, SB Angel in Disguise, Deslandes, the driver, trainer, owner out of Clifton. Bet on Joe is the number 2, Michael Stevenson driving for Sharon Godding of Auburn, a winner last time out. The 3 is Justified with Gary Mosher driving for Indy Dutton of Burnham. 4, A World Apart, Scott Farley of Lyman, the owner-trainer, Nicholas Graffam driving. Sedona Sealster is the 5, Drew Campbell drives, Moku Inc. and Jonathan Clee racing the owners. Back-to-back wins for the 6, Next Shot, Bruce Ranger driving for Laura Huff and Brian Grass of Dixmont. Daliosity is the 7, that's Kevin Switzer Jr. in the seat for Ryan Nelson of Temple, who's the owner-trainer. And OK Icon the 8th. Heath Campbell driving for Gerald Laughlin of Gorham and Jared Laughlin of Poland, who is the trainer. Here in race number 5, it's post time. Gates open on the backside. Here's a look at the field. The number 1 is SB Angel in Disguise. Deslandes in the sulky there. 2, Bet on Joe and Michael Stevenson. 3, Justified and Gary Mosher. 4, World Apart, driven by Nicholas Graffam. 5 is Sedona Sealster and Drew Campbell. 6, Next Shot, driven by Bruce Ranger. 7, Daliosity and Kevin Switzer Jr. The 8 is OK Icon with Heath Campbell. The favorites along the rail, SB Angel in Disguise at 4 to 5 odds as they hit the head of the stretch. Onto the through that upper turn, and now they come off the turn, and SB Angel in Disguise is your leader on the outside. Next Shot is there as they go through the first fraction in 59 flat. Back into the turn, the leader, SB Angel in Disguise, on top, and leads by full length. On the outside is Next Shot, who's there back by now 3/4 of a length as we go onto the backside. Rail third, boxed in, Bet on Joe. Coming up off the rail is Daliosity. Inside to find Justified. Moving on the rail, along the rail is A World Apart. Outside, Sedona Seals in the trailer still. OK Icon dropping back on the outside. Next Shot is done now as they get through the 3/4 in 1:27.3. Into the upper turn we go. The leader is SB Angel in Disguise. The betting favorites on top. Now the shot comes from Bet on Joe, who's up on the outside. The leader is SB Angel in Disguise. As they come off that turn at the head of the stretch, it's SB Angel in Disguise, the betting favorite. Bet on Joe is on the outside. As they come for home now. A World Apart moves up along the rail, and on the outside, Bet on Joe takes away the lead. It's Bet on Joe, your race winner. SB Angel in Disguise holds on for second in 1:57.3. Race number 5, Bet on Joe winning for the 3rd time this year, 11th lifetime victory, and it goes in 1:57. Prices are up there on the board. The 2-1 exacta is going to pay you back at $33.20 today. A $2 trifecta ticket with a 2-1-4 pays $92.80. Here's a look at the field, and on the rail, the number 1 is No Whining Blue Chip with Dan Deslandes driving. 2, Pan Hellenic and Kevin Switzer Jr. 3, Cyclone Pass and Nicholas Graffam. 4, Sandinista and Heath Campbell. The 5, Air Force Grad, Bruce Ranger driving the 2-1 betting favorite. 6, Mr. Blissful and Drew Campbell. 7, Art Zuma and Matthew Thurn. And the 8, Librado Hanover with Gary Mosher at the head of the stretch. Eight Pacers going the mile for a purse of $3,000. Race 6 in your program. And we're off. Everybody out to a good start as we go into that turn for the first time. In along the rail will be Cyclone Pass, who's up on top, and then Mr. Blissful coming up and will take away the lead as we go into that turn. So Mr. Blissful out of that 6th post position will have the early lead. Mr. Blissful, Cyclone Pass second, Pan Hellenic will be third. Back fourth as they make their way through that onto the backstretch is Sandinista. Sitting along the rail for fifth as we make our way onto the backstretch is Air Force Grad, followed up by No Whining Blue Chip and Art Zuma, and the trailer is Librato Hanover. It's a quarter mile done in 29 4/5 as they go into that upper turn. On top of the field, the even money betting choice, it's Mr. Blissful and Drew Campbell leading the way through that upper turn. They've gone 3/8 of a mile, and it's Mr. Blissful leading the way over Cyclone Pass by a length and a half. Pan Hellenic is there, and on the rail still now sliding out those who come off that turn third. Off to the outside, Air Force Grad, and inside is Sandinista. Back inside to No Whining Blue Chip and Art Zuma with the trailer as Librato Hanover in 1 minute and 4/5. Back into the turn. The favorite, the leader, Mr. Blissful, was third last time out, on top by a length and a half. Make it a length and a quarter now as they go to the 5/8 pole. It's Mr. Blissful, Cyclone Pass on the outside. Pan Hellenic is there third on the outside. Moving along the rail, Sandinista back to Air Force Grad. Inside is still No Whining Blue Chip there, six. Back to the trail is Art Zuma and Librato Hanover, who's on the outside. 3/4 of a mile in 1:30 flat. Into the upper turn we go, and the leader in the favorites, it's Mr. Blissful, who's on the inside, now has been passed. Cyclone Pass comes up on the outside and whirls on by with 1/8 of a mile to go. Cyclone Pass, Mr. Blissful on the far outside, making the swing out wide. Sandinista is going to be involved as well. Along the rail, Pan Hellenic trying to find a spot. In the middle of the track, it's Cyclone Pass, Blissful Hall, Mr. Blissful, Cyclone Pass is your winner in 2 minutes. Let's Cyclone Pass. The 11-year-old gelding by Western Cyclone, owned by Diane Frazier of Kennebunk. Michael Graffam trains Nicholas Graffam. 3-6-4-2 after looking at the photo. Cyclone Pass the winner. Mr. Blissful. Prices up there on the board. The 3-6 exact is going to pay you back at $24.20. It's post time. Gate is in motion for this field of mares, and on the rail, number 1 is Media Queen with Bruce Ranger driving. 2 is Humor Me and Drew Campbell. 3, What You Gonna Do, Boo, with Kevin Switzer Jr. the bike. 4, Millwood Faith and Deslandes driving, and the 5, Caviar Katarina, driven by Michael Stevenson. The favorites on the rail, Media Queen N at 3-5 odds on the board. 5 mares pacing the mile for a purse of $4,000. Race number 7 in your program. And we're off. Great start from Millwood Faith N. Out of that 4 post position, we'll have the early lead. Humor Me is content to be there second. Then it's a gap of 2 lengths back, 2.5 lengths back into Media Queen N. Sitting fourth, What You Gonna Do, Boo. And the trailer is Caviar Katarina. Single file. The mares go along through that turn. And now on to the backside. The leader is Millwood Faith N, who's on top as we make our way to that quarter pole. Millwood Faith N on top, leading the way by a length and a half. Back in on the second is Humor Me. Rail third is Media Queen N. Fourth is What You Gonna Do, Boo, and the trailer is Caviar Katarina. The fraction goes 29 and 2, and through that upper turn we go. At 8-1 odds on the board. Millwood Faith N. Deslandes looking for career win number 1,000, on top by a length and a half now as they come off that turn. Humor Me there second, the even money betting favorite. Media Queen N within striking distance, back by another length and 3/4 as we come off that turn. Caviar Katarina moving on the outside now. Here comes Media Queen N, also sliding off the rail to half in 1 minute and 2/5. Back into the turn we go. It's Millwood Faith N on top of the field, leading the way by a length and a half. In on the inside second still. Humor Me's been parked in along the rail the entire trip around so far, the first 5/8 of a mile. But on the outside, here comes the favorite, Media Queen N, charging up off the rail. The leader is still Millwood Faith N. Media Queen N on the outside. Rail third. Humor Me boxed in back by a half a length as we make our way to that 3/4 pole. 129 and 4. The favorite, Media Queen N, on the outside of the leader. Millwood Faith N has been leading the entire trip so far. Into the upper turn they go. It's Millwood Faith N on top. Media Queen out on the outside. Back by a full length now as we hit the head of the stretch. We come for home now. It's Millwood Faith N on top as we make the turn away from home. Millwood Faith N is your leader. On the outside, Media Queen and the favorite coming up off the rail. To the rail, it comes Humor Me as we come for home. It's Millwood Faith N, win number 1,000 in the career for Dan Deslandes. This one comes in 1:59.3 with Millwood Faith N in a gate-to-wire trip. 4th 3/4, and they go 1:59.3 for the winner, Millwood Faith N. The winner's circle comes Millwood Faith N. The 11-year-old mare by Oaxaca, Arizona, is owned and trained by Carl Butterfield of Raymond. Dan Deslandes, the driver. 3rd win this year for Millwood Faith N. 3 consecutive wins here in Bangor. This one goes in 1:59.3. 28th lifetime victory for Millwood Faith N. 1,000th career victory for the driver, Dan Deslandes, and Millwood Faith N in this 7th race. It is now official, paying $19.20 to win, $4.20 to place, and $3.20 to show. Millwood Faith N. Congratulations to Dan Deslandes.